All right, so I figured out the whole poll results functionality, which I'll get to in a second, which you probably already saw in the week 6 folder. First of all, I just want to start off with a broad question, just to make sure that we're... Okay, so the question is this. Why are we doing AJAX in the first place? Like, what's the big deal of using this get or fetch to get stuff? Like, what does that accomplish or what does that avoid? It avoids server-side code so you don't have to reload the page, right? So back when I was growing up, and I sound like an old guy now, all the internet used to look like this, where you click a link and it would reload a page, right? And everything you clicked on would reload a page. So what the AJAX does is it doesn't load the page. It loads the page behind the scenes so you can get the data you need, and then you just change the page dynamically on the fly. Okay, great. Announcement number 2. So as I was posting my Makaru, create a free Makaru account and create an API, Steve emails me the next morning and said, hey, did you know about this? And I said, oh, no, I didn't know about that. That's cool. So what Steve discovered was instead of using because when I searched for a random number and all I found was this, Steve found something called digit sequence, which is better than my example because all you have to do is like put a pound sign there to represent 1 or 2 digits, for example. And then let's make everything a digit sequence then. Sequence. Make this A, make this B, make this C, and make this D. Oh, sorry. Oh. Get rid of this and this. So let's put in 2 digits there. And now if I request maybe 3 JSONs, preview that, I get this. Nice. Now I only need 1, so I could make an API just using the digit sequence instead of my buns number, which would take away 1 line of code because with my buns number, I had to just slice the last 2 characters, but here I don't have to slice anymore. But the code is effectively the same still, so I'll talk about that in a second. Okay, so here is what's happening for the poll functionality. I basically gave you under week 6 all the code you need for the poll functionality. So I'm not asking you to submit this. I'm asking you to, for your own sake, watch the videos that I created last night and this morning, just to understand it, how I got from A to B kind of thing. And I've given you the code here under poll-finish, and all you have to do is, cut and paste the functions you need kind of thing to your own. Or maybe vice versa, use my poll finish and cut and paste your stuff to here, whatever you want to do, okay? So I'm not asking for any marks for this, but I am asking you to at least understand how I got from nothing to something. Because I do make use of a couple of new methods like object.entries and object.fromEntries and local storage, which I'll get into in a second. For this week's lab, it's going to be due on the same due date as the assignment because lab 6 is part of the assignment. It's basically creating a README file. So let me introduce that real quick. So don't you ever notice when you, let's just go to get one of a popular repository on GitHub, Bootstrap. So here, if I were to look at the README, here is the readme.md file. And the question I ask is, how did they make this nice, simply, minimalistic web page? Answer. Let me show you something I did long ago called assignment calculator. So this is my documentation I created long ago. Question, how did I create this with, the code sample box and links? Here's the answer. It's called GitHub Markdown. So I'm introducing you to this GitHub Markdown language where with headers like this, if you say hashtag, it'll come out like this. And so let me show you the markdown language for this page. If I were to click on edit for my repository, for my MD file, it looks like this. So here, all I did was put one hashtag and it came out like this, right? So it kind of transpiles what I write in markdown language into something else. If I wanted to create a link, here's how I would do it. In the Markdown way, I would use the square brackets, put in the name of whatever I want to be seen, put in the URL in parentheses right beside it, and it comes out like something like this, right? Or maybe something like this. How do I do the code samples? There are here. You have to use 3 backticks followed by the language that you're using, whether it's JavaScript, PHP, HTML, CSS, whatever. You put it in, and it comes out like this. So I'm just introducing that in case you ever need to create documentation in the future. So your lab 6, which is part of your assignment 1, is to create your own README MD file using the GitHub Markdown way to demonstrate just one ES6 feature that you used in your assignment. And so basically, I'm asking you to have 5 different sections: a title using the hashtag, an introduction using double hashtag, which is a subheading, along with your paragraph of what you wish to demonstrate and how you used it or why you used it. I want you to provide a link using the GitHub Markdown way. I want you to provide some sample code using the GitHub Markdown way. And I want you to include a sample image using the Markdown way. Okay, so this is part of your assignment that I rewrote for assignment number 1 here. So that is basically this one. Okay. As for the poll, I basically, it was 4% last week, now it's down to 2% because I'm giving you everything. And everything you need is, again, in week 6 here. Everything needs for that functionality is that. So that's an easy 2%. And yeah, anything else? Okay, any questions or comments so far before I move on to new stuff? And then once I show the new stuff today, which will only take an hour, then the rest of the period will be work on assignment 1, and I'm here to help to debug and that kind of thing, okay? Question, Jen? Yes, the midterm is next week. By the way, I created the midterm a few days ago. It's going to be some multiple choice questions, which will be worth 5%, and then 10% will be a coding question. Yes, great question. Yes. Right. I will send an email to myself to remind me, please show all quizzes answers, right? Are we asking quiz answers? Yeah. I will do that. There we go. All right, so I reminded myself to do that. Great, any other questions before we get to new stuff? Okay, I'm gonna start off with something, just like how I was kind of speaking before, back in the day. I'm going to try to get you to experiment what it's like surfing the web without JavaScript. Okay. So this is what I want you to do. Assuming you're using a Chrome browser, I'm going to get back to what Scott McCrindle probably taught you back in the day with regards to progressive enhancement. So let me just see if I can find that book. Oh, I think, was this your textbook here, this one? Did you use this at all for Scott's class? No? Yes, no? Okay. So in the chapter of progressive enhancement, if you remember, probably Scott preached this. Progressive enhancement, there's 3 layers. There's like the behavior layer, which is JavaScript. There's the pretty layer of CSS, and there's the structure, which is the HTML. And those 3 should be separated. Okay? Remember that? That whole conversation with Scott? With progressive enhancement? Yeah. Okay, so then comes, a few years later, then comes this guy. And I put this link right here in your week 6, under additional information where it says read. So check this link out. So in 2016, he wrote this. He had a conference talk. And he said, where did it go here? Here. In this conference, he put a slide that said this. In 2016, it's okay to build a website that doesn't work without JavaScript. And he got crucified by a bunch of people here. Some of these are Very popular JavaScript gurus. So what I'm introducing you to now is just the holy debate, the holy war debate that's out there. I just want you to be aware of this. So before, here's what it is. Before, progressive enhancement used to mean you have the 3 layers, right? And that you should make sure that your website should work without JavaScript. You probably remember that talk from Scott, right? However, with the dawn of ES6 and everything with JavaScript, this author argues, no, wait, hold on, because, where's that? Here. This is his observations. The next billion devices will, for example, smartphones, will be mostly running on Android. They'll have decent specs. They'll have an evergreen browser, which means it'll always have JavaScript. So then the whole, what if they don't use JavaScript, shouldn't be the problem anymore, because the next billion devices will always have JavaScript. And this author argues what they won't have, however, is a reliable internet connection. Right? If you're Subway or in Africa kind of thing, you won't have that reliable internet connection. So what this author argues is, what does that mean for progressive enhancement? Easy. We should redefine progressive enhancement and change the definition so that it's treating the network as an enhancement rather than the traditional definition. Okay? So this is the debate that's going on right now. And I'm just going to get you to experience browsing the web without JavaScript. And I'll lead you to make your own decision. So if you're using Chrome, this is how to disable JavaScript. Select the 3 dots at the top right corner. Click on Settings. Once you're there, scroll to the bottom. There's the Advanced at the bottom there. Click on Advanced. Once you open the Advanced section, look for the thing that says Site Settings right here, Site Settings. When you click on Site Settings, look for JavaScript. So here's JavaScript. And there's a toggle switch for disabling it. So try disabling it. Keep the tab open so you can enable it later. But now that you've disabled JavaScript, I want you to visit some websites. For example, visit YouTube, visit a news site, visit maps.google, visit Wikipedia, visit Twitter, visit whatever you want. So I'll do that for the next few minutes, and I want to collect your reactions and responses. Try YouTube, try a news site, try maps.
Sorry, you can't use Gmail anymore.
What was that?
Sorry, you can't use Gmail anymore. Or JavaScript.
Yeah, Gmail. Yeah, Gmail's.
Gmail Basic.
Yeah, you can use Gmail Basic. Yeah. Okay, now that you've had your chance to surf, I want your reactions. What did you observe? First impressions. What do you think? Go, Ryan.
It's really mixed. Depends a lot on the website. How much it's good there.
Yeah, it's really mixed. Depends totally on the website. Yeah. Yeah, Arya. Loaded faster. That is a common observation. It's the internet is way faster now. Right? If only the internet could be like that all the time. But that is a common observation. Why is that? Because you're not loading JavaScript, right? Anything else? No? Okay, so I just wanted you to be aware of that issue. In the past, I've assigned like little mini essays to argue your point using GitHub Markdown. I'm not going to do that for this class, but I just want you to be aware of that issue. So go ahead and enable JavaScript so you're back to normal, and we can continue on. Okay, so to the new stuff. I'm going to quickly show local storage. Did you learn local storage at all with Scott or anyone? No? Okay, so check it out. You have basically 4 methods, and you're going to use 3 of them for the poll. Actually, for the assignment number 1, not for the poll specifically, but for your assignment number 1. And I show this in my videos there. So this is how to use it. Let's say I have an array. Let's call it tweets. Actually, we'll just say my array equals 1, 2, 3. Sure. Actually, we'll do something. A, high, B, true, C, and that's. Okay, so I have an array. Oh, that's. What am I thinking? What am I doing? I'm confusing objects with an array. Wait, do I want an object? Yeah, let's have an object. Okay. So let's say you're ever in a situation where you wish the browser could remember something, temporarily at least. So this is what you could do. You can use local storage. So watch this. If I say local storage, I'm accessing a browser feature. And if I say set item, I'm telling that feature, okay, remember this. And what's this? The first parameter is whatever I want. So whatever variable name you want, that's the first parameter. However, here's the trick. The second parameter is your data, but it has to be in a form of a string. So therefore, if I say my array right now, do you think that'll work? No, because my array is not a string, it's an object. I'm going to, on purpose, press enter, and we're going to see what happens. Enter. So something happened in local storage. To find out what happened in local storage, open your console, click on the application tab. Under local storage, you're going to see what you just entered. There. Oh, I had some stuff from before. So which one was mine? Mine was this one. Tweets. And look, object, object. That's not what I want. I want a stringified version of my data. So what I'm going to say is JSON.stringify, and then put in your data. So let's see what that looks like. Enter. So now it remembers that stringified array, or stringified object rather. Let's check. Go to Applications tab. Oh, there it is. Tweets. That's what the name I gave it. And here's the stringified version of that object. So now I could recall it simply by saying local storage dot get. What is the documentation? Get item, and then give it the name that you gave it. And it gives you the stringified version of your thing. Question, can I use that string and use it like an object? No, because it's still a string. I have to parse it first. So if I have that same thing and then say json.parse, enter, now I got the binary version. I got the actual object, right? That's the usable version. So that is how to use local storage in a nutshell. In the assignment, I ask you to, let's see here. If the user refreshes the browser, prior tweets will still show due to local storage. I showed how to do that in week 6 for this video here. Okay, so it's a few simple lines. So that's it. That's it for local storage. Okay. What else did I want to show you? Right. Object entries. Object entries. So there may be cases when let's say you're fetching data, and you want to do something with the object. Like you want to iterate all the different properties in the object and do something with it. You can't iterate over an object. but you can iterate over an array. So wouldn't it be great if we had a method that can translate objects to arrays and vice versa? So that is the purpose of object entries. So let's check this out. If I had this object here, now if I just say object.entries and I put in my object1, there it is. You get an array back. But let's take a look at what that looks like. It looks like one big array, and inside that one big array are two mini arrays. And notice how it separates the key value into, the first, element 0 is the key, element 1 is the value, that kind of thing. Right? Then what you could do is, let's do the reverse, and that's the purpose of from entries, object from entries. Let's say we have this, let's just do the reverse. Let's say we have const object 1 equals an array, and inside that array are two mini arrays. One is A, the other one is I, and the next one is maybe B, and then true. Now if I say object.from entries and pass in my object1, it should change it to an object. Cool? This is what you will do for your assignment number 1. Because in the videos where I grab the Makaru data, Makaru, where is it? Makaru, here. Right, so this is my original. So notice I'm given a string, not an actual number. So I actually have to iterate over all the different values, change it into a number, and return back. So that's what I use. I use object.entries to change this object into an array in order to access the value, in order to change this into an integer. And then once I do that, now that's changed, I can use from the object.from entries to change the array back to an object. So at the end of the day, I have A 34, B 28, that kind of thing. But it's the integer 28, not the string 28. So that's what I show in the videos. Okay. So I just wanted to mention that. And I think that is all I had for today, except for one more thing. If you go to tests, I've opened up quiz 5. However, it's an easy quiz 5 because I'm asking you to give me a multiple choice question that I can put on the midterm. So if I like it, I'll put it in. So there could be a lot, there could be a few, we'll see. But make it a good one. All right? So take your time to do that. Wait, actually, do I? So I'll give you 20 minutes to do that. So from here on in, the rest of the class is devoted to assignment number 1. I'm here to help you debug whatever you got. I'm here to help you with the poll stuff, whatever. Okay? I figure out of all the classes for comp2112, this has to be the easiest assignment 1 based on the fact that I've given you a lot of spoon feeding for this assignment. So I'm hoping you'll do well. Okay? But I'm here for you for assignment number 1. So take advantage of working so that you're not stressed out for the rest of the weekend. And I'm hoping you can finish at least a lot of it today. Okay, is that cool? Yeah? Cool. So do the quiz and work on your assignment and I'll be walking around. Hold on.